John was in a car. The car was on a road. John was sitting next to Bernard, who was driving the car. Slowly. John was thinking that this seemed like a very basic error, because only a few minutes before it had seemed, in John's ignorance, that they were running away. And John had always been of the opinion that when running away, the aim is to go as fast as possible. And doddering along, as they were doing, did not seem like the fastest way possible. In fact, it seemed like what John had always considered to be old people driving. I didn't want to stereotype, but they were moving very slowly. Bernard, on the other hand, knew exactly what he was doing. He knew that as a person a little bit advanced in years, the assumption was that he couldn't drive any faster because he, his mind was going a little or something like that, and he knew that wasn't true. He knew that his reflexes were as sharp as ever. But he also knew that he liked to drive young people a little bit mad, so driving a little bit slower just gave him a little bit of satisfaction. He also knew that flying along at full pelt, might look a little suspicious. Of course, he also knew in his heart of hearts that he was a little bit worried. He had found that just every so often he wasn't quite as on the ball as he used to be when he was younger. But he wasn't getting old. Not really. Not really. That's what he told himself. That's what his friends all told him. Of course, they were all, the same sort of age, and they all had either white or grey hair. But that wasn't the point. The point was he was still young at heart, and that's what the people said mattered, didn't they? And he was thinking about this, rather than really concentrating, when he noticed that John was looking nervous. And then he realised that John was looking nervous because, despite the fact he was already going at quite a slow pace, he was just winding a little bit on the road. Which irritated him, because he did not want to be seen as the doddery old man. Not really. Not when an adventure was starting. Not when something this interesting had come to his attention, and something this interesting had not come into his attention for a long, long time. It was all to do with that watch, and who wanted that watch. It was an old watch, not the oldest watch in the world. It wasn't Greek. But it was very precious to a certain family. Not a very nice family, but, a family nonetheless. And he didn't want it to go to that family because it was an antique. It was history. And he understood more than anyone that timepieces are not just about keeping time, as in keeping time in the modern sense of, is it lunchtime yet? Not that sort of keeping time, but keeping times in terms of history. History can be told in terms of how people knew the time. He understood this more than anyone. And this watch was a piece of history. A brilliant piece of history. Sadly, it seemed as though people wanted to just use it as a watch.